Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to study about the life cycle rules in S3 bucket. What are life cycle rules? In a real-time project, you do not want to keep all your objects for a long period of time into the standard storage class because that is very a costly option. You have to move your data, your objects from the standard storage class to a less infrequent access class or maybe Glacier for archival purpose. Over the course of time, the rate of access of your objects, your logs, your files, or photographs in this case, the rate of access decreases. So you have to choose a cost effective plan to transition your data over these different storage classes. Let me give you an example. Suppose you're having an ETL job running which keeps on dumping the logs into an S3 bucket, a standard storage. For 1 month, you need to store that data in the standard storage because you are frequently accessing it. After some time, you see that you are less frequently accessing it, but whenever you want to access, it should be immediately available. In that case, after 1 month, you'll have to move it to the standard infrequent access to save the cost. Later on, you see after maybe 3 months, after 90 days, you do not really want to store those things in those costly storage classes because they are really accessed and you want to move it then to some archival side. So it will be stored in the Glacier or Glacier Deep archive. But this happens over a course of time. So you have to decide the time plan for the transition of your objects. Also, there is an option of expire. Like after an year, that is 365 days, you see that you don't ever need those objects. You can already expire those files or logs. In that case, you can also set an expire in the lifecycle rule. So let's quickly go to the hands-on. Here I have already created a folder that is a bucket and I will create a lifecycle rule. So I will give a name. Let's quickly navigate the options. Limit the scope to specific prefixes or tags or apply it to all the objects. It's a bucket level operation in general. So if you want only a particular set of files or objects with a particular tag or prefixes, or you want all the objects in the bucket, for the sake of simplicity, I will apply it to the whole bucket. Now I will set the transition rule here. This transition rule can be applied for both the current version of the object, or if you have enabled versioning, it can be set for all the previous versions, like here. You can add different transition rules for both of them. Let's keep it for the current version only. I will add the rule here. So if my object is in the standard storage for like 30 days and I want to move them to standard infrequent access, I will choose the rule. You have to remember, I will show you, that it's minimum 30 days required for an object to move to standard infrequent access or one zone infrequent access. Minimum 30 days is required before you move it to this category. I will quickly show you. Suppose I give 20 days here. You see, minimum 30 days is required. You have to remember this number 30 days before going to the exam because they may test you on this knowledge. I will give 30. Now, after 2 months, I decide that I will have to move the objects to Glacier, like after 2 or 3 months, I don't want the objects to be frequently accessed or they are rarely accessed, and I just want to store them in the most cost effective manner. So I will put a Glacier here. And you see 30 days for the object creation. You have to understand this. 30 days for standard before it moves to standard infrequent access, and then after that again 30 days it stays in infrequent access and then it moves to Glacier. This is cumulative. 30 days here and this. So if I put, like, suppose 30 here, it says it has to be minimum 30 days it has to stay here. So let's put 60. You see, 30 days it will stay here, and after 30 days this is 20 more days. So I have to make it minimum 30. So remember this, 30 days minimum is required to move data to infrequent access, and it has to stay there in the infrequent access for minimum 30 days. So I will add this 60 here, 30 and 30. So it gives acknowledgement. I will tick, I will move. Now I have to configure the expiration. It's an optional thing. You have to check it or you don't. Let's select the expiration for the current version. So I want to expire the objects after 365 days. That's completely fine. After an year, I don't want to keep the objects and I want to, like, clean up my whole bucket. In this case, after 365 days, irrespective of whichever storage class the object resides, it will be cleaned up. There's one more option. If in your bucket there are multi-part uploads still pending up, it will also clean up that. Now, if you see, here's the review before we create it. Dummy job, the scope is whole bucket. Here you can see the transitions, and I have set the expiration. I will not save here because there are already no objects, but this is how you have to understand how LIfecycle rule happens. It's quite simple. So if you have any questions or doubt, please do comment and clear your doubts immediately here before you go to the exam. Till then, happy learning and goodbye.